what's up? It's Dr. 2582 coming back with you with another video. Yeah, I'm trying a new intro, right? So see if I can try to stick on that. But anyways, to today's video, I'll be reviewing a NASCAR diecast from what I know, the Gold Series, and this one has been one that I've been patiently waiting for a couple months now, ever since I pre-ordered it. And I was really following this car and see if it was actually going to get made or not, and it did. And it became extra special when I went to this one event, which I'll talk about, and yeah, I'll talk about it. So the car in question is going to be this one. I've been hinting at this car for a while, and I think you can already know what it is. It is Denny Hamlin's 2025 ampm Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs Racing, JGR. Man, this diecast, I've been waiting a long time for this car. I had to switch diecast dealers because one wasn't sending them, and the main source, which is Lionel, was, and I was getting upset by that, so I got a refund, and that might be a separate video, a separate topic for another day. So yeah, I'm very excited to have this car finally in my hands. Of course, Denny Hamlin, number 11 ampm Toyota Camry. Yeah, I'm very excited to open this one. Now, normally I would only buy one, but since I really love this paint scheme and this sponsor so much, this is probably one of the only times I'm ever going to buy two. So this one's going to stay in the box, and it's going to be displayed next to the postcard, which I did buy because, of course, I really love this paint scheme. And yeah, I bought that postcard because it's a nice little display piece. And of course, since I bought two, I have another one that I will open up. And yeah, and this one I did kind of open up a little bit because I did want to take a look at the car already. But without further ado, let's just take a look at it. Okay, now of course with these diecasts, it is pretty hard nowadays. It's just getting harder and harder to open up these types of boxes. So I'm gonna follow a tutorial that Diecast Buffet, a fellow YouTuber, showed, which is like getting a pair of tweezers and just like opening them, and that's kind of what I did here, so I won't rip the flaps on here. So yeah, you just want to not pull, but like bend it a little bit, and yeah, just pull it from there. So yeah, you want to use tweezers for that. And yeah, let's get this beautiful diecast out of its box. Yeah, this is the first time I'm showing it on camera, so, and there it is. I'm very hyped to have this car now finally and in my collection. So man, this camera quality is making this car look very nice, honestly. There's a lot of glare on it, so I do apologize, but yeah, here it is, Denny Hamlin's ampm car. I guess I'll just say it right now, this is honestly one of my favorite paint schemes of all time. It's not that I'm just being biased due to the sponsor or the driver, because I mean, I've been following Denny Hamlin for a while, so he's a cool guy, I guess, a cool driver, a pretty good driver on the NASCAR Cup Series. But the sponsor, I really do enjoy going to ampm myself. And if you guys are in the East Coast or you don't know what it is, ampm is basically just like a convenience store, kind of like 7-Eleven or Quick Trip for y'all, and I guess Midwest, I don't know. But yeah, it's a regional convenience store chain, so we have them in the West Coast, like California, Nevada, Arizona, or Oregon, stuff like that. But they are trying to move East Coast, I've heard. But yeah, I didn't really think this diecast would actually get made because of the sponsor. I don't think there's much demand for it. Because, it's very interesting because 2025 Denny Hamlin, he didn't really get that many sponsorships. At first, like he rolled up to Daytona or even the Clash, and he didn't even have a primary sponsor, because he had FedEx, but they left after the 2024 season, which was pretty sad because they've been running for almost 20 years together. And yeah, unfortunately, after their 19th season, they left Denny Hamlin. But, National Debt Relief came out and sponsored him for a few races, and they actually did make a diecast of it. Well, I don't know if I'm planning on buying that one. And then Progressive came and saved the team, I guess. And they sponsored the majority of the races. So he drove the Progressive car, and I'm really thinking of buying a diecast of those, even though they only made raced versions of it. I'll see if I'll pick one up soon. And then randomly, I think a couple of weeks or maybe just a week or something like that before the Sonoma race, so like the Save Mart 350, 2025, the ampm came up and decided to sponsor 2 races. So they sponsored the Sonoma race, and they were going to sponsor later again during the playoffs in the Las Vegas race. And the Sonoma race, Denny Hamlin is not very good at road courses. So this car wasn't really running up front. It wasn't shown on camera that often. It took me a while to find a clip of it during the race broadcast or the race replay on YouTube. And yeah, so he didn't do super remarkable. I don't remember where he finished. I'll probably put it up on the screen, what position he finished in this car. But, at least we got a purple car back for Denny Hamlin. And then Las Vegas, pretty special. And I'll talk about it in a little bit. Or right now, I guess. So, yeah, came up with this sponsor, qualified on the pole. Shocker. Because, ever since I saw that they were going to run this car, I immediately fell in love with the paint scheme. I just love purple cars, and I think this might be one of my first NASCAR diecast that's purple. And this is like a lavender type purple. It's not as purple as the template or what the spotter's guide view, I guess, if you want to call it that. It looks more like a darker purple, darker shade, but this is like a lavender type purple, which honestly it still looks really nice. I wish it was darker, but who's complaining, I guess. So yeah, he rolled up to Las Vegas for the South Point 400, and yes, your boy, myself, was there with my little brother, with my father as well. Yeah, he qualified on the pole. I was really excited because, I was going to see this livery in person, and, when I was recording that video, I was only focusing on that car every lap. I don't know why. I just couldn't get my eyes off of it. And then, surprise, surprise, he won the race. He won the race. I was pretty excited. Because usually when, every time I choose, someone, maybe the day before or something like that, I choose, I don't know, I feel like this guy might win. I like this guy. And then 9 times out of 10, he actually does end up winning. Like Scott Dixon, I was a Dixon fan. I still kind of am. And Long Beach 2024, he won that race. I was there. I chose Kyle Larson at Auto Club 2022. He won that race. I chose it the day before. I was like, you know what? I feel like Kyle Larson might do well. But Lord and behold, he did. And then Denny Hamlin, just because I was biased with the paint scheme. I was thinking maybe a top 5 at best. Yep, snuck the win. And, I could tell I was a fan because I was wearing his t-shirt. I was wearing his ampm t-shirt that they were selling. I have a photo of it. It's a really nice design t-shirt. And I was also wearing the hat. And let's see if I can show it on here. I was wearing his official hat. So, yeah, it's big stitch things, JGR and Toyota. I also got my dad one because he really liked it as well. So, and I got my button pin on there. And Toyota. So yeah, I was wearing that day. I was wearing the shirt and that hat on that day, and I was the only one wearing it. So, and then after he won, of course, I had to pre-order the t-shirt, the purple one, and it honestly looks really cool. Like the thing they used, the material, it's like purple, but they also use little hints of red and blue, which is really nice. And of course, I had to pre-order the diecast, the race win diecast. So I got a 164 and a 124, which is going to be the first time I'll ever get a next gen if they actually do make it. I believe they will, because it is going to be a pretty popular win. 60 wins? Are you kidding me? Yeah, that one has to be made. So, yeah. But this specific livery, people might say that this one ran at Las Vegas. And that's partially correct, but this is the Sonoma one because 1, doesn't have the yellow playoff banners on there, and 2, race win stickers, there's only 3, and of course 3 on this side, so he was only up to 3 wins by that point. And then of course Las Vegas, he had extra wins, so he had 5, and I think one of them was from the round of 16, so he advanced. And yeah, that race he advanced to the final 4, and don't want to go too much into detail, but I watched that race. Pretty heartbroken for him and his fans, and I really thought he was going to win that championship. I really thought, it didn't seem real. 4 laps, 3 laps, and 3 laps to go. I was like, there's no way he's actually finally going to get his crown. And boom, caution came out. lost the lead and finished runner-up once again. So that one really did hurt a lot, and it really made me sympathize more with Hamlin, trying to win one for his dad, who, it really sucks that he couldn't win. But, Kyle Larson did technically deserve it. He did get the most points if it was a full season points, but that's a very controversial topic, which I don't really want to talk about here. So, yeah. So, yeah, I love this diecast. If you haven't seen enough, of course. Although it is a little bit inaccurate, and you might ask why. I don't know what it is. I don't think anyone will be able to answer it. Anyone from Joe Gibbs or ampm is probably going to ask or watch. But the livery is a little off, so there's a little gradient here on the side. Like the little design. Kind of looks similar to the Ty Gibbs car I did review, just I think this is like latest upload before this one. It has that same type of stripes. The gradient doesn't actually exist in the real car. I could put up a photo of it, and you'll be able to tell that the gradients, I know the color is going to be off, and every photo has the car with the color extremely off. It's all different. But yeah, that gradient isn't there. It's just a dark blue. I honestly prefer this one with the gradient, but who's to say, I guess. And another inaccurate thing is the sponsor on the hood. So, of course, ampm, the main sponsor, of course, is on the side there, and it's all over the car in the back. But on the hood, it's actually a different shade. So it's still the ampm logo, of course, but the shading of the logo, so the AM and the PM, the gradient is a little bit different. So on the hood, it would start yellow and then grade and then be a gradient to red where the M is. So it would be red to yellow, not like this. And then the PM, it was a little bit different as well. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I kind of made a rough sketch. I'll put it up on there. That's kind of how it looked like. And then the trunk was also a little bit different as well. So I don't know what was up with that. I don't know if AMPM could have like a specific like brand recognition. Did they have to change it? Was it their decision or JGR or something? I don't even know. It just looks a little strange, but this one makes it look a little more consistent. So I do like this one as well. And that little inaccuracy, like in the real life car, it was both at Sonoma and Las Vegas, so it was noticeable for both. But yeah, that was a little, I guess, thing I want to say is that it is a little inaccurate, but it does match the template, like the prototype ish, like the side profiles and the top profiles. It matches this car. But I think for the Vegas one, they definitely will, if they end up making it, which I hopefully think they will. I think they will have that little logo change on the hood and everywhere. So, yeah, that's I think that's all I really have to talk about. This diecast is amazing. Honestly, I love this one. Surprisingly, I haven't seen anyone do a review on this one. I think I've only seen like a short being made, but not a full-length video. And honestly, this one did deserve it because AMPM in auto racing, they've had some pretty nice looking paint schemes or liveries, like Denny Hamlin's car. And then Connor Daly drove the Indy car at the Indy 500 and some other races like at Laguna Seca. Man, that one I really did love that Indy car, but unfortunately we'll never get a diecast for that. They only had one piece of merch, which is his hat. And of course I did buy it because I really did love that paint scheme or livery. But and AMPM, they're still technically going to be in the sport because they are going to be sponsoring Ty Gibbs for one race, which sucks, only one race for 2026. And I wonder if they're going to do a different type of paint scheme. Is it going to be like AMPM with Monster, or is it just going to be full AMPM, or is it going to be the same livery, just a number 54? I wouldn't mind if it was the same livery, honestly, just a number change. And if they do, hopefully they do offer a diecast. I wouldn't be surprised because, of course, they don't make Monster diecasts. So, yeah, I'm really excited to have this one. I'll put it in my favorites box. That's why I bought two, just so I could have one on display and then one to keep in my favorite diecast box. Because, like I said, really like this paint scheme. Yeah, and the sponsor, of course, AMPM. I do enjoy going there and just getting like a couple of chatas myself from the fountain drinks. And And yeah, pretty happy to have this one finally. So yeah, if you're thinking of buying it, well, I don't think the Lionel store has them, but maybe some other diecast dealers do. But definitely don't go to Spoiler, because that's kind of where I went, and they never sent them out. But that's the topic for another discussion, all right? So yeah, that has been the review of the Denny Hamlin ampm Toyota Camry for JGR. So yeah, if you liked it, please give it a like, subscribe. We're getting close to those 1,000 subscribers. Let's hopefully make that goal, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Tungus!